All right, Adewale Ajayi is live on the program from Canada. Wale is an international football writer. He's live on the show today. Glad to have you on the program, Wale. The conversation has been on the Super Eagles and Jose Peseiro. Earlier today, a board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, Nse Essien, said if they have the money, they would relieve Jose Peseiro. But he says they do not have the money to pay his severances. They don't have the money to pay him off. And so it seems like we're stuck with Jose Peseiro at this point, whether it's rainy, whether it's sunny, whether it's good, whether it's bad.
Yeah, problem is that there are issues involved. I think that the biggest issue involved is the fact that Jose Peseiro's contract was tied to the Nations Cup. The Nations Cup was supposed to take place between June and July of this year, and eventually it was postponed to next year. So that is the first issue. Now, those who tied that contract, those who signed the contract with Jose Peseiro said that they were tying it to the Nations Cup. We will review your contract after the Nations Cup. Unfortunately, the Nations Cup has been postponed to next year. That's the first issue. Now, the second issue is that when this NFF board came into office, they met a backlog of unpaid salaries. So we're talking about 8 to 9 months' salary. So those are the issues. They cannot sack him. If they sack him, they will have to pay all his outstanding. And of course, there's also the possibility of Jose Peseiro taking them to FIFA and FIFA asking them to pay compensation. As I speak to you right now, the NFF is still paying compensation to Ganatua, who is now the coach of Benin Republic. So these are the issues. You need to, first of all, look at the terms of the contract. If we need to sack him, can we pay what is due to him? Those are the issues. So I know that the NFF is in a very tight corner. They've not been able to even pay him his salary. So if they have to sack him right now, they have to pay him his outstanding, and of course the existing one, then the severance fee. It's going to be very difficult for them to achieve.
All right, Jose Peseiro took a pay cut just a few months ago. He was earning $70,000. Now he's supposedly earning $50,000 US. But we have been told now by a member of the NFF that Jose Peseiro was hired by the sports ministry. And I'm struggling to understand why it is the sport ministry that would hire a coach for the senior national team.
Well, unfortunately, the same board member who made that comment was not even a member of the board. At the time, Jose Peseiro became the coach of the national team. Now, let me make you understand what happened. The NFF, of course, you know that it was Amaju Pinnick, the former NFF president, that brought Jose Peseiro into Nigeria. He went to Portugal. He sat down with Jose Mourinho, the former coach of Chelsea. And of course, that was how Jose Peseiro became the coach of the national team. So it was never the sports ministry. They brought Jose Peseiro, and of course, they wanted the ministry to see the coach and of course also understand. Now, let me give you what happened at the initial stage. The NFF made a proposal of 4 years contract to Jose Peseiro. The ministry insisted that it should be 1 year. If not for the sports minister, this NFF would have given Jose Peseiro 4 years contract. So it was a 1-year contract, and that is the 1-year contract we are still on now. This contract was supposed to expire in July of this year after the Nations Cup. But unfortunately, the Nations Cup was pushed to January next year, and that is why we are still stuck with this particular coach. But I don't like the idea of somebody saying that it was the sports minister that recommended him to the national team.
Okay, Wale, before I let you go, from what you've seen so far, where does the problem lie with the national team? Is it a problem of coaching, or perhaps we don't really have the material? You know, someone said to me this morning, Promise, it seems we are overrating or over-exaggerating the quality we have in the Super Eagles at the moment.
Well, Promise, that's a big lie. We have some of the best players in Europe. You know me. If we don't have the players, I will come out categorically and say we don't have the players. Right now, we've got some of the best strikers. We have Victor Boniface, is the best. In fact, he's one of the best strikers in the German Bundesliga. As we speak right now, Real Madrid wants to sign Victor Boniface. You have Victor Osimhen. Osimhen is perhaps one of the best in the world. He was rated number 8 in the Ballon d'Or. So we've got some wonderful players. Maybe we don't have the best defenders, but we've got midfielders, we've got attackers. I think the problem we have as a national team is the coach. We don't have a good bench. And again, there's another issue, Promise. We have a technical committee that is led by Alan, I mean, you know the Kano State FA chairman. He is the chairman of our technical committee. So even if the technical bench is not good, we have a technical committee that can go sit down with the technical bench and tell them this is what we want. That is a big problem. Then secondly, too, I've also suggested to the NFF, there's a way out to this also Peseiro issue. If we think that Peseiro is not good enough, get a capable assistant coach. We can get a local coach that understands football. Go and get a coach like Emmanuel Amunike who can work with this Ose Peseiro. In fact, if you want Ose Peseiro to get angry and resign, make Emmanuel Amunike the technical advisor and make Peseiro the chief coach. That way you will expose Peseiro. But I mean, they're just saying that we cannot pay him, we don't have the money to pay him. What have you done to make him understand that he's not doing the job? And we need somebody that can do the job. And if he's not willing to do the job, they should let him go. If you cannot sack him, make him resign. You can frustrate him to resign. And once he resigns, he has breached the contract. And that way you're not going to pay severance fee.
All right, Wale Ajayi, thank you so much for your time on the program today. Thank you, Wale.
Thank you so much, Promise.
All right, Wale suggesting you can frustrate him to resign. Indeed, that really caught me laughing. All right.